everybody, my name is Luke Marr and this is Hot Mode, and today on Hot Mode we are going to be discussing Tommy X Gigi and Dolce and Gabbana. Sorry that I'm doing these videos together, it's just my schedule has been all over the place, so I do apologize. Also about the lighting, my life is in shambles. So, both shows were interesting. One was really awful, the other one was, I guess, interesting. But it's good to talk about them. They are two very influential brands, still, unfortunately for all of us, but they need to be talked about. Before we actually get into the discussion, if you guys are looking for a channel that talks about fashion and luxury fashion and the fashion industry in general in a fun, sassy, cool, interesting, intelligent way, this is the channel for you. You can definitely hit the subscribe button down below, and you can also hit the post notification. Also, you can turn on my post notifications so that you can get the notifications that I uploaded a video, because who doesn't want that? And if you guys like these kinds of videos, you can definitely hit the like button, which is also down below there. That just lets me know that you guys like the videos, and then I feel great, and then you guys feel great, and everybody feels great. The designers that I roast usually don't feel that great, but everybody else feels pretty good. Okay, so now let's start with Dolce and Gabbana. So, there were some very beautifully cut dresses. I was really shocked by this whole thing. It was okay. It had some really nice dresses. They do understand how to flatter a woman. It's very interesting because I really have seen some of those other collections. You're just like, holy Toledo. But they understand how to cut a dress for a woman and make her look good. I will say that. Obviously, this is where the niceties end. Thank you, Dolce Gabbana, for beautiful dresses, but let's talk about the rest of the mess that you are. So there's so much going on in the collection in terms of accessories, in terms of fabric, like, it is too much. It's way too much. And I know that the Italians are really good at doing way too much. Prada and Gucci by Alessandro Michele. Like, those two brands, while one is tacky, it means to be tacky. Gucci is meant to be tacky. Prada mixes clothing and does all too much in the name of experimenting. Dolce and Gabbana kind of takes the two of those things, mixes them together, mutes the experimental and the tackiness, turns it into like stuff that they can sell to the mainstream, and it's just like, like, you're taking two things that are interesting, they like have, you know, something about them that people can really learn from and experiment and think and have knowledge and intelligence. You just kind of take away all of that and just put pretty clothes down the runway. And pretty is subjective for the most part. So it's kind of disappointing for Dolce & Gabbana because they are tacky. And when they are tacky, it's like, oh God, what do we do? How do we, Like, it's the most cringeworthy brand. Like, it just can't do anything right. Like, never. They put, like, drones carrying bags down the runway. Like, what? Like, no, that's not what millennials want. They don't want you putting bags down the runway on drones. Like, no, that's not what they want at all, so stop. In the collection, I saw some references to, like, Gucci. There's, you know, they're not really, you know, great designers. Yes, they can cut suits and dresses well, but they're not in terms of, like, conceptualizing collections. Or at least they used to be, and then they took something and now they're psychopaths and can't design anything well. They used to be really great. Those like Byzantine Roman Empire collections were fantastic, and then this happened. I don't know, it was like they took like bath salts and here we are. They, as well as Tommy X Gigi, use plus size models. They've used plus size models in the past as well, and it was like a little bit better than this time, which I'm kind of shocked that they kind of like took a step back. I think there were plus size models, but they really weren't very plus size. Like Ecoslata, I think, is really the standard of plus size modeling. The thing is, I think that like Dolce and Tommy X Gigi really go for like the skinniest plus size models, which like, that's not the point. Like the point isn't that they're skinny plus size, the point is that they're plus size. Like, what? So that's what, again, like it just feels like they're trying to do that, but it's cheap. Like it's like, we really want to be aesthetically pleasing, blah, blah, blah. It's like bullshit. Also, I read this article by The Business of Fashion. I do believe that you have to have a professional account. I don't know if any of you guys do. I do, just because it helps me like read on about stuff. It's not the only place though. It's just something that I like to have. But they did a whole article where they pretty much talk about how Dolce and Gabbana courting controversy, which is something that they do, whether it's like their stances on gay parents, their stances on like in vitro, which is the way that people are inseminated with children, their willingness to dress Melania Trump and their joyfulness at it, and just the way that they got into that massive fight with Diet Prada are some of like the biggest controversies that they've had. But apparently people really don't care that much. Apparently their sales have gone up. They kind of stay away from like all the other Italian brands. They kind of do their own thing. I think that them using influencers also is a very big help. Apparently they don't actually pay a lot of the influencers that walk their shows. They just get like free clothing. I think the influencers should be getting paid. They're not models, they're influencers. They have followings behind them. Moving on though, we're gonna get into Tommy X Gigi. So first things first, this is the fourth and final collection that has been going on between Tommy and Gigi Hadid. When it first came out, we were all like, oh God, and we're still like, oh God. But I think it really is a testament to the power that influencers and celebrities can have on fashion. Like, those collections really sold and they were really great publicity for Tommy Hilfiger. Obviously they were really awful, but they worked for the brand, so it's very interesting. It was awful, obviously. Like, we all knew that was coming, like, you know, so that's that. Like, if you want me to really talk about it, it was awful. I hated it. It was a motocross look experience. It was awful. But I am convinced that Gigi Hadid tries to make Bella Hadid look awful in all of those shows. Like, Gigi always walks first and then Bella walks behind her. And Bella is always underwhelming in a Tommy X Gigi show, but Bella is never underwhelming in any other show that she's ever been in, and she's been in other shows with Gigi, so I'm convinced Gigi's trying to make her look bad. Again, the collection just feels so forced. Like, it's so awful to watch it because it's just cringy. Essentially, I believe that it's an older generation trying to sell to a younger generation, but they don't really understand, or they haven't actually brought in any young people to help them execute this job. So it's really what old people think young people want. And you're just like, why? Also, the menswear in particular is so dreadful. Like, there was one suit that I just saw and I was just like, that looks like they bought the fabric from Joann's. They're using the same fabrics and the same like patterns and stuff as Zara. Like, they're behind trend. Like, they're behind trend. They want to be Zara. Tommy Hilfiger, I'm sorry, my sweet angel, but like, you don't want to be Zara. No. Like, don't let an American heritage brand get to that level or you're dead to me. And you're really going there, so I want somebody to like actually make this good. I'm kind of hoping that they pull a Stuart Vevers at Coach or a Raf at Calvin Klein and really put a good young creative in there. I think it really like heavily relies on the American flag and American patriotism and all that kind of stuff. Like, leave that to Gap. Like, I get you're the red, white, and blue logo, like I understand that, but like, let's update it. Let's like make it cool. Let's like, you know, actually do something with it. Like, there really needs to be a young creative director in there that really can like up the brand. It's just what it needs. And also, there were quite a lot of no-name models in there. Like, there was obviously Gigi, Bella, Anwar, there was Lucky Blue, there was Joan Smalls, but like a lot of the girls that I normally would see, like Binks Walton, Anna Ewers, like those kind of girls weren't there. And I was wondering whether they just would never be cast for that kind of show because it's so commercial, or if their agents were like, we don't want you to even go to the castings or like to even get cast. So that was just something I thought, because I really was shocked by the girls weren't there. Like, the normal, you know, girls weren't there. But Hailey Baldwin was there, so. Also, again, the prints, like, so aggressive. They clash too hard. It's not like a tasteful clashing of prints. Like, it's just so much. Especially for a commercial collection. Like, it's just too much for a commercial collection. It's, again, a trendy brand, so it's like, why? Why do we even have to endure this? Also, I did mention that Joan Smalls was in the show. Let me just say, Joan Smalls could be wearing whatever Gigi Hadid wanted her to, and it could be dreadful and awful, but Joan Smalls will always look amazing. Like, she just looked so good. That's like a supermodel to me. Like, Bella didn't look good in either of the looks she was wearing. Naomi would look good in every single look that she was wearing. It's just the truth. And again, even Bella's second look, it was just awful. Like, Gigi was really trying to make her look bad, and I don't appreciate it. And Gigi's finale dress, which Bella wore a similar version of, was awful. Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, I felt like it was trying to be like cute, like swimwear, but then it was also trying to be like a fancy dress. So you got like a swimwear top, and then you got like this really awful sheer like fabric bottom. I think the skirt part of the dress was going for like creativity, and then I think the bathing suit top was going for like flattering, but like nothing about it was creative or flattering, so you just got like ugly, ugly, ugly. And it's just so weird. Like, they're just so weird about it. It's just so cringy. I don't know what to do about it. Please let me know what you guys thought of these two collections in the comments below. I'm sure that you guys will rip them to shreds, and that's what I love about you guys. Again, if you guys want to check me out on social media or anything like that, it's always at HotLamode, so check that out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and TTYL.